Watch and burn.
Hey everyone, so tonight I wanted to discuss the Fragile Deviations from the Nine Inch Nails, and that is the massive 4-record release that they put out back in 2016 that contains a number of unreleased tracks from the Fragile era, as well as all of the tracks that were on the landmark 1999 release from the Nine Inch Nails, the Fragile in full instrumental form. And the main reason that I wanted to discuss this record was because in addition to the music being absolutely brilliant and the wealth of additional tracks that up until 2016 had not seen the light of day, and how they're the standout attraction of this release because there are so many of them and they are wicked. I mainly wanted to discuss this because of how disappointed I was with the packaging. This is not the problem, but first off, as you can guess, with 4 180-gram vinyl records inside, this has a considerable amount of weight. And like I said, that's not the problem. There's nothing wrong with that, but it's how they're housed. It opens up again, double gatefold, but right away, I don't know if you can see this. Uh-oh, shit. See, that's the problem. There's the first. Jesus, what's this now? I don't know if you can see in there. It's open on the inside. It's open on the inside as well. And so the records slide through on the inside as well as on the outside. And it just feels... Actually, I'm a little disappointed because I straight up expected more from Reznor and Ross. I like how it's printed. I love the artwork. I love how pixely and shitty it looks, so it totally matches the Fragile. But I just don't love the way the vinyl themselves are housed. There's 2 apiece to either side, and they're in these cheap, like, waxy feeling sort of paper things. And the vinyl is, of course, inside, but like I said, this just feels so cheap. And considering that I think I paid like $130 for this, which on one hand, I know $130 in 2022 isn't a lot of money, and paying $130 for 4 records in 2022 is actually sort of a steal. I still expected more. I don't like how flimsy these are, and as you can see, from me taking it in and out a number of times, it started to warp and deform up here, and that means its monetary value is going to drop. And as, like everybody else, the only reason I buy vinyl is so that I can recoup my money that I spent later, as well as turn a handsome profit. Because it's not about the music. It's all about profiteering. Which it's not, so I don't really give a fuck about that being bent. I just wish that they were housed in something a little more sturdy, and that there was a little more care put into this, because this was the much talked about and heavily anticipated release where they would do a complete re-release for the Fragile in instrumental form and toss in a bunch of extra songs that were never released. And so for it to be so rushed, I don't know, I was a little disappointed with that. And the other thing that's not great is there's no labels on the vinyl. They're just Fragile colored, so to speak. And so you have to figure out, you know, like, is this LP1? Is this LP2? Is it side 1? Is it side 2? And so you have to use the where's the card that it came with? There is a card that it came with in here. No, that's the download code. I thought there was, at least. Maybe I hallucinated the fact that there was a... No, there has to be, because... There it is. And so you have to use this here in order to figure out, you know, what's what. I love that song. Of course, everybody knows, you know, we're in this together. So that would be on this and that. And like I said, because they're unlabeled, you have to figure it out for yourself. And whereas on one hand, it's not the end of the world. On the other, it feels cheap again. It feels rushed. And I have to say, packaging-wise, I'm completely disappointed with this. Taking it out to listen to it is a complete and total pain in the ass because the spine is so flimsy and the records, they shift inwards, they shift outwards. And because the things that the actual, like, slip cases that the vinyl are housed in inside of the actual full-on packaging are waxy, they slide like crazy. and it's not good. So I love the design of this on one hand, but then the other side is just blank. Like, couldn't they have just double-sided it and put some liner notes about the creation of the album that hadn't yet seen the light of day or something? Like, again, this whole release feels very one-sided. But yeah, so the music, of course, I don't think I need to go on and on about. The extra tracks that have not seen the light of day, they're fantastic. They're exciting. They're just as good as anything the Nine Inch Nails have ever released. The musical side of this, this leaves no stone unturned, I suppose. And I really like the instrumental versions of the already released tracks because you're allowed to hear the music better without getting distracted by the catchy vocals, because everyone just ends up singing the vocals, of course, and you will miss out on how incredibly well layered and textured this massive release was. And I found that quite a bit. Like, oh, I had no idea that such and so were going on because I was so busy being caught up by the lyrics that I wasn't hearing it. And so having the instrumental releases and getting rid of the vocals altogether, it was a really good idea. I just wish that the physical releases themselves, that there was as much care and concern put into those. But yeah, so look, I'm going to go. So thank you so much for sitting with me while I discussed the Fragile Deviations from the Nine Inch Nails, which was released back in 2016. If you like this review, don't forget to do something nice for somebody. And it just occurred to me, I'm wearing a fucking Nine Inch Nails shirt while I talked about a Nine Inch Nails record. And I really didn't want to have any shirts cooperating with any of the records I was choosing to discuss. I just broke one of my own rules there. Whatever. Have a good night. I'll see you guys soon. I just wanted to say thank you for making it through the entire video. I really appreciate it. And I'm going to remind everyone one more time, even though I've probably already done this in the video that you just watched, to please click the like button as well as the subscribe button because it helps this channel grow. And thank you for hitting like and subscribe. And we will see you guys really soon.